hear ye, the time has come for the Clash Royale League. Today, in the North American region, Colton W83, Adrian Piedra, and Complexity Gaming look to remain unbeaten as they face down All-Star C. McHugh and Esports Goliath Cloud9 in their first ever CRL match. This should be fun.
Hello and welcome to Clash Royale League. I'm Rich Slayton, joined by my good buddy Inverum, aka Paul Toddkill, to bring you the third day of action in CRL North America.
We've had some amazing games so far in North America with stellar performances from teams like NRG and Tribe.
All of them competing for a shot at the World Finals. The route, each team will play each other twice. And the 4 teams with the best records make it to the playoffs. And the winner of that represents their team on the world stage.
And of course, you can find all the action right here on the Clash Royale League Esports YouTube channel. Be sure to also go to esports.clashroyale.com or the new Esports tab in the game itself to find out all about the schedules and the matches, everything you need to know for Clash Royale Esports.
2 teams trying to make that journey today. Complexity making their second appearance at CRL, and Cloud9 starting their journey.
This is going to be one stellar series. We finally get to see the Cloud9 roster that so many people have been talking about. Look at the names on this squad, Rich.
C. McHugh, the 2-time global #1 finisher. Trainer Chris. Baron, of course, one of the best players in competitive play. Fantastic roster for Cloud9.
Oh yeah, really excited to see what these guys can do. But of course, Complexity, they're tried and true. They've already taken their first game here in the CRL. Colton W83, Chachi, Adrian Piedra, El Jefe, all of these guys will put on some amazing shows if they need to.
And of course, Rasler, who we saw run through the board in his last match. And standing by with him right now is our good friend, Christy St. John.
Hey, what's up? I'm Christy St. John. Rasler, you are coming off of a win. Did that first match affect your strategy at all?
The first match felt pretty good. I feel like my strategy is not going to change that much. I'm just going to play the game I've always played.
Absolutely. Of course, I have to ask, you are going up against a Terminator team, Cloud9. Are you going to remain unbeaten?
I guess we'll have to see, but I'm feeling pretty good today, so I think I can.
I'm getting those good vibes. All right, back to you guys.
Thanks, Christy. Before we get into today's match, let's take one more look at the format.
Format, of course, is going to start with each team banning out a card. That card will be relevant for that set, but of course it updates with each new set. We start with 2v2, the new match format here for competitive Clash Royale, into 1v1, and of course if we need it, that ace match. You and Ismos, our favorite game type, King of the Hill. We'll talk about that more, if necessary, if we get there.
We're about to set our lineups for 2v2 and 1v1. Right now, the team's deliberating. Let's take a peek inside the war room.
So we've prepared for everything. There's nothing that's going to catch us off guard. There's no scenario that we haven't prepped for. If something does come up, someone makes a mistake, whatever, move on. You have Chris next to you. You have Colin. Communication. Everything has to be on point, but we've practiced everything. So just trust each other. That's what's going to win us the game. If we don't trust each other, we're going to make bad placements, and it's going to come back to bite us. Baron, you're prepped. You know what you're running. You have everything. Chris, anyone want to add anything? You're good?
As long as we stay calm.
We had our Red Bull. We're good. We got it flowing. Everyone's awake. We got this, boys.
Poison and Tornado are banned. We prepared for this scenario a lot of times. You know what you're going to run, go out and execute, right? Colton and Rasler. When you guys play as a unit, there's nobody that can beat you, right? So trust in yourself, but trust in your teammates, and work together. Adrian. So we got Royal Hogs and Cannon Clark for 1v1, all right? There's a lot of things that you can do here, right? You feel confident? Perfect, man. Believe in yourself again. Believe in yourself, man. We're all behind you, so we can go out here and we can take this in 2 sets. We put our mind to it. So let's start strong here in 2v2, and we'll go take it, guys.
We've heard them talk about battling, but how about we see them battle? Cloud9 and Complexity Gaming, send your 2v2 tandems into the arena!
Here to set off our first set at 2v2.
We have Cloud9 going up against Complexity. Cloud9, on paper, one of the scariest duos in the North American region. C. McHugh, Trainer Chris, terrifying.
And across from them, Complexity, Rasler, of course, the Week 1 MVP candidate. And next to him, Colton, very well known. He also did 1 year of school at UC San Diego and quit to play Clash Royale full-time.
Showing that dedication to the game. He'll need it here. This is going to be an all-out brawl. I cannot wait. This is definitely one of my favorite matchups. I've been looking forward to it all week. We finally get to see Cloud9's got a lot of hype. Now's their time to go up and prove it.
And of course, we have a new set of card bans for every set, not allowed for any of the games.
Tornado and Poison. If we're seeing a 2v2 meta developing, these two cards are definitely at the center of it. So much value you get having those mass AoE area of effect spells, and I love that they're taking them out here. They're going to say, look, we're going to play this a little bit more standard. We're not going to allow any sort of crazy plays coming on. We're going to sort of bring it down on more of a 1v1 kind of standpoint.
And we haven't seen Cloud9's 2v2 strategy yet. We have seen Complexity switch it up, playing small and fast for their first game, and then going big for the second game. Will they be able to replicate what they did in their last match? 2v2 coming at you right now.
Go, boys!
We're getting into game number 1. Cloud9, Complexity, our first set here. They need to win 2 games to take it. Both of these teams have a lot to prove right now. Complexity, of course, already winning in a very convincing showing their first 2v2 of the week, but this is C9's chance to come out and make a name for themselves.
We have no idea what they have in store for their opponents yet. Really excited to see players like this, like Trainer Chris and C McHugh, doing competitive 2v2 on this stage and never having seen them before.
I mean, these are some of the most dominant 1v1 players now. Putting them together, I'm assuming this is they're only just going to increase their power levels right now. So far, nothing crazy coming in, nothing too unstandard. I mean, actually getting quite a bit of damage on that right-hand tower. The Valkyrie, something we've been seeing a lot of in competitive play. A common ban card being used beautifully here in 2v2.
Seeing the Giant Skeleton, no surprise there for this 2v2 matchup.
Yeah, of course, that Giant Skeleton, he does drop that bomb, getting so much damage, that mass AoE as well. We're having a great year being dropped in the back, but great defense there with the guards and the Mega Moves as well. And the Flying Machine, this is a card we've definitely seen more of, and I actually love it here as well. That great range allowing it to get value in both lanes.
Still that right-hand tower for Complexity down now to 1407. C McHugh and Trainer Chris early on in this match doing work as we meet the halfway point of standard time.
And we are seeing that Royal Giant coming out, a card we've been seeing a little bit more of here in 2v2. For good reason, it's able to just get a lot of that damage. Nas doesn't have to get all the way across the river, of course, to deal that. And we're seeing a lot of damage now coming in return. The push finally being mounted here for Complexity, doing a lot of work.
Well, that was brilliant. The Witch pinning the Giant Skeleton in the back, right in front of its own tower, not allowing it to go anywhere, and now we have the right-hand tower for C9 down to 722.
Just goes to show when Complexity puts their minds to deciding, look, we're going to build this push out right now. They can execute on it when they need to. Both of them running more of these bigger beatdown decks. I like this. Having the Giant Skeleton here as well. We know what happens. They get clogged up on the bridge. They take out so many units when that bomb drops. It's a great way of stymieing the push as well. We are seeing the Rocket coming out. Rocket, another commonly banned card here in 2v2.
Smart move from Cloud9, switching lanes with that Graveyard, trying to split the elixir spent for their opponents.
Oh yeah, we're now seeing the Royal Giant coming down to the bridge. It is going to get the lock onto that tower, slowly start to whittle the way. Look at the push coming in right now for Complexity. This tower is getting so low. I am not sure there's a chance that this thing survives. Able to take down the Giant out of range of that. Oh, that is huge. The Giant Skeleton not able to get that crucial bomb damage. They're still pushing it here on the King Tower.
25 seconds left. Cloud9 choosing to go in the left-hand tower despite it being having more hit points than the right-hand tower. Can they get enough on there before this first game of set number 1 ends?
This is all on a Cloud9 right now. They need to make a big play, but Complexity is playing perfect defense right now. There is not a gap, and that is going to be it. Complexity taking game number 1.
Wow, and again, let's note, that is now 6-0 for Rasler, continuing to say, I am going to be the MVP of this league.
Oh yeah, he is showing up in a big way here in week number 1. The way him and Colton are executing these pushes is absolutely masterful. Just getting that Giant in position there to steal that key damage. And again, not a card we see played in 1v1, but finding a home here in 2v2.
Both teams going fairly aggressive, very little building work, lots of troops played on both sides, way more spells here for Cloud9. The aggression early on may not have paid off when we saw that counter push on the right-hand lane.
Well, I think it really came down to shutting down the graveyard. They tried to pull up that graveyard play over and over, but weren't really quite able to back it up. Traditionally, you see that paired with something like Golem, the beatdown, the push comes in through, and then you drop the graveyard in the back in 2v2 while that front line is taking all the aggro.
We have seen a lot of Golem graveyard freeze so far here in 2v2. But look, C. McHugh and Trainer Chris, two of the best in the business. We'll see them probably switch it up here and find something else. I expect this to go three games.
I would be surprised if it wouldn't here, but Complexity is looking so strong. They want to close it out in 2 games. Rich, I think they can make it happen.
Can Rasler and Colton keep the streak going, or will C. McHugh and Trainer Chris send us to a 3rd and final game?
We're going to see going in, starting things off with a miner here. We're going to see a bit of a switch up in terms of this deck composition for C9. Though again, having this giant skeleton and the witch is coming out. I actually love the witch here in 2v2, just clogging up the field with so many of those skeletons, just such a distraction.
And we have Witch on one side, Night Witch on the other. Now supported by the Dark Goblin is the giant skeleton of Cloud9.
Gonna roll that log through every single time, trade positive on that. I love to see it here from Complexity. Dark Goblin can get so much damage done on the board if left to its own devices, but just take that down with the log every single time.
And here we go, the Witch up against the Cannon Cart. Cannon Cart makes very short work with that tower supporting against the skeletons.
Cannon Cart, a card we're going to see a whole lot more of this troop receiving some very nice buffs in the most recent update, and we are seeing it being used in a lot of competitive formats, both 1v1 and 2v2, but here comes the push now for Complexity, but a much better defense this time around for C9.
A big shift for Cloud9 in this matchup, taking a much less aggressive stance, and here again, that Royal Giant showing so much potential in the 2v2 meta.
I may have spoken too soon. The defense is crumbling right now for C9. The bomb from the giant skeleton when it drops, setting this up. You can hear Complexity. They are getting so hyped right now. This right-hand tower is already gone.
We are just 24 seconds away from double elixir time. Now Cloud9 choosing to switch lanes and do whatever they can on that left-hand side.
Now we're seeing once again this giant skeleton coming in. They're going to meet on the bridge. This is exactly what Complexity is looking for, because when that bomb drops, it is going to do such a great job of shutting things down.
And the Inferno Dragon making an appearance, trying to get across the board. As we are in the last minute of this match, there we see a freeze on the left-hand side.
And we're seeing the giant snowball coming in as well. Not really sure why. I think this is just sort of the death throws coming in right now from C9. As we do see the solid hold from Complexity, they are looking totally in control of this game. They can finish out that right Princess Tower at their leisure, so solely focusing now on the left. This is exactly what they need to be doing.
30 seconds left for Complexity. Can they make it 7-0 for Rasler and a complete dominance for their 2v2 team?
We're going to find out right now, because Complexity takes the course. They take the first set 2-0. We are now seeing the graveyard in the back once more. Defending it right now is Complexity, and I think that's going to be it. I'm not sure there's a whole lot the Cloud9 can do at this point. The tower is getting low, but the defense is holding. There's the tower dropping. This is C9 done. This is Complexity in 2 games.
Complexity takes the first set of this matchup against the juggernauts of Cloud9.
What a stellar performance from them. Rasler's streak lives. This just goes to show on paper, you know, again, C9 has this amazing roster, but when it comes down to standing up here on this stage, the Complexity, maybe having a little bit more experience here in the format, it's showing here in week number 1.
Here's the finish, and a great advantage position for Complexity. They didn't have to worry about that right-hand tower at 80 until the very end, playing defense, dragging this thing out, and then sealing it in the final seconds.
So we're looking here now, once again, more spells being played for Cloud9. Interesting to note here, you know, the higher troop count, just keeping that up, the pressure up here in 2v2, maybe that's going to be a crucial part of that. And I think a lot of this just comes down to the giant skeleton usage. I feel like it was just a little bit better for Complexity here, the way they were able to do that, shut down the pushes from C9. It was always in the absolute perfect position to get maximum value off that bomb.
Both teams playing aggressive, and it pays off for Complexity. Rasler here in week 1. Yeah, there's a lot of games left to play in today's matchup, but he's making a really strong case that he is the player to watch in Clash Royale League North America.
But that's only our first set here. We go now to our 1 1v1. I talk about it, the bread and butter of competitive Clash Royale. It's probably what most of us, I would say, play on a daily basis. Though you and I think we're going to be doing some more 2v2s in the future. But it really comes down to the finesse, the micro plays. You really get to see the individual mind gaming that comes out between these pros. And with the two fellows who are coming up next, this is going to be one fiery matchup.
Here is a big-time set coming right at you. Remember, if Complexity wins this next set, that is it. Cloud9 goes down 0-1 on the standings, but Cloud9 can win this thing and send it to King of the Hill.
Ooh, the stage is set for an epic 1v1 battle between Clash Royale heavyweights, Adrian Piedra and Baron. Do your teams proud in the arena!
Adrian Piedra and Baron across from each other for this 1v1 set. They almost met at the King's Cup. They were in the same bracket, both lost in quarterfinals. We get to see them play here on the big stage today.
The match we didn't get to see then, we're seeing it right here, right now in the Clash Royale League. Baron, of course, the German phenom, coming up against Adrian Piedra. This guy has put on some stellar showing so far. He's sitting down, taking it easy. Gonna say, going up against Baron, I think he's feeling confident.
Now let's take a look at those ban cards that will be active for all of 1v1. Interesting here, Royal Hogs and Cannon Cart, two of the most powerful cards in the current meta.
I actually love to see both of these cards banned. I think they are both quite strong right now. Taking them off the board completely, I think, is a good choice here. We've seen Royal Hogs do so much work, and the way the pros have been using them, I think, is really interesting. The way they split them up here in the middle of the field, getting split pressure on both sides, opening up so many possibilities.
Not going to happen here. We might see a more classic matchup, more classic decks between Baron, the CCGS standout and world finalist, and Adrian Piedra looking to get it back in 1v1 after losing to B-Rad.
Let's get into game number one. Of course, Complexity is up 1-0 in this set, so if Adrian Piedra can take this, Complexity will take down Cloud9 2-0. However, Baron, if he takes this set, will bring us to King of the Hill. That's exactly what he's going to look to do.
Baron playing some cycle cards in the back. Adrian Piedra also taking it slow.
I like this. Neither side overcommitting here, feeling out the opponent. Not really a whole lot exposed yet as to what the core of these decks is going to be. This is really some next level mind game. We normally see once the first few cards, okay, here comes the Hog, so potential 2.6 Hog coming out now for Baron, of course. That quick deck, that 2.6, oh, not actually launching with the Tornado.
That is a huge misplay. So much damage and no activation of the King Tower.
Oh, that was actually big. So we are going to see the Hunter coming in now. So we're going to see a variation of this coming in right now. And Adrian Piedra, that was an uncharacteristic misplay from him.
Very strange, but again, lot of Clash Royale left to play in this first game. Baron now with a 3M in the back, a little gamesmanship up front, maybe playing the cycle and the Hog.
Yeah, that was interesting here, sort of debating us out here, juking us a little bit with that. The Poison's going to go down to deal with those. 3M, though, a classic archetype we're seeing a lot more of here, competitive 1v1. It just gives, again, a lot of options of play. We're seeing the Nightwish to deal with this here, so maybe seeing Golem coming out?
3M hasn't done much so far, but the Hog doing work for Baron, taking the left-hand tower down to 909.
909 already at this stage of the game. Baron has got to be very pleased with how he has done so far to start this off, but I'm really looking for Adrian Piedra in double elixir time. There's the Golem. As we start to get into this, this was exactly what we were looking for.
Baron playing so cold, so tight right now. This is a guy who, remember, has beat Loai, Soking, and Lupanji all in a row.
That is beating any one of those players on any given day is crazy. Beating all three of them in a row is a feat in and of itself. Great positioning though on that Lumberjack, pushing forward here, but the great split push now from Baron. This is exactly what he needs to do against this slower beatdown deck. But finally, there we go. There's the Tornado we were looking for.
And there are the Golemites getting some damage to the right-hand tower for Adrian Piedra.
This is a really solid hold, though, I have to say, so far for Baron. Very little chip being done. The Golem, once again, with this Nightwish, a classic pairing with the Hunter, actually pretty good at shutting that down.
The Hunter, really powerful when you get in close, does do some great damage against tanky cards, and with the support from part of that 3M, stopping that push. And now, on the left-hand tower, it's the Musketeer, and that is down.
That lone Musketeer not being respected there by Adrian Piedra. This is actually huge. He realizes he needed to commit on this push with only 15 seconds remaining. I don't think there was much hope here for Complexity. Baron is looking just too solid.
In the final few seconds, Baron giving the GG. He knows he's done the first part of his job. Baron now moves 1 game win away from sending this thing to King of the Hill.
Go, buddy.
Stone Cold Baron is just playing this so calm, cool, and collected right now. All smiles from Adrian. He realizes, I mean, you start the game off with one small misplay like that, sometimes it's hard to recover.
And here we go, probably the most important moment of the match, as Paul just mentioned, the misplay on the tornado. And look at the Hog just shifted 1 tile over to the left. If the Hog had stayed where it was, that Ice Golem moved it. Let's talk about that. That might be probably the most significant moment. If it had been 1 more to the right, this game could have been entirely different.
It could have been entirely different, not only just from like an overall play standpoint, but from a mental game too. You start off the game making a misplay like that, and at this level, all it takes is 1 mistake to win or lose. These guys are just that good. Most pros make on average about a mistake a game, but when it's one as crucial as that right at the start, your opponent's just going to have his confidence go way up.
It also changes the entire way you have to play now. That tower to being down so low, now every play you make has that in the back of your head. So it shifts your play style. But again, these guys are pros. Adrian Piedra has been in these spots before. We've seen some of the newer players blink. That's not going to happen here.
Oh no, these guys are all so they have so much tournament experience here. He's still all smiles. He's feeling confident going into game number 2. He's going to look to bring us to game number 3 here in this set. He's going to look to close it out for complexity, but Baron's going to look to put it away.
Can Cloud9 go to King of the Hill? Let's see.
Game number 2 here. Adrian Piedra needs to clutch it out, but Baron has got to be feeling so good. Now, this is where the mind game, you talk about the gamesmanship of it comes in. Do you switch? Where do you switch up your decks? Do you switch up at all? Where do you go from here? Or do you keep it consistent? And we are going to see a swap here as the Bandit is coming out right now from Baron. So potentially, there's the Bandit E-Wiz coming out. I imagine we'll see the Zappies in there with the Ram as well. A pretty common deck we've been seeing at high level play.
We could see that spam. We also could see a very similar deck to the one that Rasler used to run through all 3 opponents in his last match.
Yes, we could. Oh, actually the Miner coming out here as well, so a fun variation, a lot of damage already going through on this left-hand tower. And look at the split push once again. The bridge spam is real. We are seeing the Lava Hound coming out, but look at how much damage has already been done to the tower. What a crazy first push from Baron.
Baron out to an insane lead early on, but here we have a Lava Loon deck coming from Adrian Piedra looking to get back in the game.
This Lava Loon now pushing in so much HP in the air. The bomb is going to drop, but the Lava Hound is going to make it to the tower. Not getting that crucial connection, though, with that initial balloon push.
With the E-Wiz and the minions, it's going to be very difficult for Adrian Piedra to find a way through now that Baron knows what's coming.
And with so much damage also being done on the right-hand tower for Adrian, he is definitely on the back step here in this game. Baron might struggle a little bit to deal with just so much HP in the air. The poison is going to be crucial, and that E-Wiz placement is going to be massive.
Well, at this point, with just 1:30 left, Baron can really sit back and make defensive plays. The ball is in Adrian's court to figure out how to win this match.
Oh yeah, he's really up to him to sort of find that big crucial push, but unfortunately against the quick deck of Baron here, he's all about that split push right now, so he may have to be careful that he's not left exposed in other places, leaving this Princess power, and that's exactly what he's doing, dropping that Bandit behind enemy lines. That's exactly what I wanted to see from Baron.
The guards do pick it up, so we still have the Lava Hound making its way on the right-hand side, but Baron now just a minute away from sending this thing to King of the Hill.
And I love that placement on the poison, getting that final value there, going to be taking down the pups in quick succession with the balloon on the left-hand side. The E-Wiz is there once again. The E-Wiz is going to be crucial, but great follow-up, though, with those minions.
But not going to make it. Probably not even get the death damage on the left-hand tower. No, it does, down to 11:47 with 30 seconds left.
So still opening up some potential here for Adrian. He needs to make a big push happen. There comes the Lava Hound once again. Rich, this is going to be very close, but I love the fact that through all of this, Baron is keeping up the pressure.
Forcing Adrian Piedra to make defensive choices, spend some elixir to defend that right-hand tower. 19 seconds left. Can Adrian Piedra close this thing out and send it to a 3rd game in this set?
Committing the poison offensively. We'll see if this comes back to bite Baron right now, because he's not going to have a lot of great options to deal with these pups. That might have actually been a misplay here from him, as the balloon is pushing the left-hand side, trying to clean this up. No, the tower's going to fall. That might have been an uncharacteristic misplay from Baron.
The tower is down, and now it's going to be on the left-hand side. Oh my God, what a comeback from Adrian Piedra.
Adrian Piedra going off. Baron committing an offensive poison, not having it to clean up those pups, which means that tower fell. And a beautiful split push coming in from Adrian. Wow, what stellar play from him. Never letting the fact that he was behind all game long get to him, staying composed. That is the mark of a pro.
Well, here's that opening salvo from Baron. It looked at this point like he had the game all sewn up. But you Clash Royale players at home know it's so easy to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
Oh, it is. It ain't over until it is over. What a phenomenal series of play from Adrian Piedra. I'm like, okay, this tower's going to drop, and just not having enough to deal with that anti-air. This matchup for Baron, he's had such an amazing early game, but once it got into double elixir, it just all fell apart for him.
Yeah, he had no answer. You can see between his elixir and what his cards were on the board, nothing for the right-hand tower. And then that left hand, the balloon on its own gets all the way through. Unbelievable. Now we go to the third and final game of this set. Can Adrian Piedra close this thing out for complexity? Or will Baron get it back and send us to King of the Hill?
We're about to find out here in just a second, Rich. Both of these teams taking a second, discussing more, talking about the strategy. I love this, utilizing their coaches, utilizing people behind the scenes, because it's not just one player. You're fighting an entire team, and that's what's so amazing about Clash Royale League. It's not just you up there. You have the whole of your team behind you, backing you, and both of these teams now discussing mind gaming. And we're about to see what happens here in game number 3.
Pretty fun for all of you who enjoy the meta of Clash Royale, because right now with the Royal Hogs and Cannon Cart out, we are seeing a lot of classic decks. Lava Loon making, it might be its first real appearance here at Clash Royale League.
We've seen some minor thrown in there as well, but I believe true, one of the first real Lava Loons we've seen. But will we see that again, or will they switch it up here for game number 3?
And this is it, folks. Quite possibly the single most important game of this entire match.
It comes down to this. Game number 3, Complexity, Cloud9. Cloud9 looking to bring us to King of the Hill. Complexity looking to put them away. C9, a team with a lot of expectations on their shoulders, coming out now. And already some sassy play from Adrian.
Beautiful tornado, getting all 3 of those musketeers on the same side makes them much easier to deal with a big spell.
Yeah, you really look to Fireball come out, maybe Poison there as well, but still a solid push right now with the Hog coming in from Baron. And this is going to be a relatively easy cleanup though, but oh man, still quite a lot of damage done on the left-hand tower.
Looks like Baron going back to the same deck that worked so well for him, or at least a very similar deck in that first game. Look, he crushed that first game. Why not go back to what worked?
And I actually think we're seeing that maybe potentially something similar as well from Adrian here. So from that game number 1. So we'll see if we're sort of returning to the form here. Baron looks so confident here, as you say, with this deck, and there's the Golem coming out once again. So we've sort of seen this matchup before, and it didn't go so well for Adrian.
And very similar to before, that left-hand tower for Adrian Piedra down to 1394. So it's, I mean, deja vu all over again.
Deja vu, something you have done before. Deja vu, something you have done before. No, we're seeing it right now coming in, and a solid push once again being mounted though from Baron. He's going to get some additional damage here. I think he's going to clean up this Golem with ease on the left-hand side. That Musketeer is going to do so much work. I didn't expect to see it. There's the Hunter as well to clean that up. Yeah, it's going to be an okay trade back and forth right now, but look at the 2 towers from Adrian. Look at the split pressure that Baron has been able to do, and I have to say, those Golemites actually do a lot more work than I expected.
Adrian now getting some of that damage back, bringing the left tower of Baron down to 1361.
We're seeing the Hunter coming in now, and a Hunter, again, something we see very sporadically in these decks. It has a very specific answer in a lot of situations, but again, up against something like the Baby Dragon, just not gonna have a lot of success.
As we move into double elixir time, this is right now Baron's game and the Hog doing work again, but Adrian Piedra has already shown he has the ability to make a late game comeback. Will he do it again here?
He's mounting a solid push now on the left. The Night Witch behind the Golem, such a classic pairing. The Fireball is going to be there as well. The Musketeer is going to struggle to clean this up all by herself. There's the log rolling through as well. This is a massive push. This is looking like a rough spot for Baron despite being behind in the early game. Adrian Piedra is going clutch in double elixir.
Baron fighting for his life in the last 30 seconds of this game. Can he save this match for Cloud9?
The Hog is rolling in. The Night Witch is there. It only needs a few more hits. Beautiful Tornado as well to pull it out. And it's not going to get that crucial hit that it needed. Great stall there from Adrian.
10 seconds left. Adrian Piedra just moments away from sealing the victory for Complexity.
Here comes the aggressive Golem now on the left. This needs to be a solid push now. I think this needs to be just a base race situation. The Hog needs to make it to the tower. A couple swings are going to make it through. There's the Fireball as well, and that's going to be Baron taking it, taking Cloud9.
I certainly spoke way too soon. I thought Adrian Piedra had that push on the left-hand side going and was ready for that hog, but once again he wasn't. And that was the big difference throughout this entire matchup in both first and last game. That hog doing the work for Baron.
Oh yeah, I mean, the golem's coming down, and it was going to take down that tower, just not quite quick enough. Beautiful placement on that ice golem to tank the initial few hits there from that Mega Minion, and that was absolutely huge. Baron, I think, looking a little bit more comfortable there with that deck. 3M maybe something a little bit more in his pocket, but you nailed it, Rich. The hog was so crucial there, keeping up the pressure. Adrian forcing, had to allocate resources. He says, I have to commit to this big push with the golem, or I have to defend. Is it going to throw me off my cycle? How do I deal with this? And Baron just keeping control.
Baron doing a great job sending this match to its third and final set. Your favorite format, my favorite format, the frightening King of the Hill.
We're going to go to King of the Hill here in just a second, but the teams still have to decide who is actually going to play. Big ups to Baron there for clutching it out for his team. Let's talk a little bit about King of the Hill, though. Both of these teams are going to field 3 players in a best-of-5 format. Each of those players gets 1 life. If you win, you knock out your opponent, and you get to stay. You are that King of the Hill. So theoretically, we could see it again. We could see something like, I don't know, Rasler sweeping the entire opposing team, or C9 could shut it down.
We could see Cloud9 shut this thing down, and you know what? If you're Complexity, you're looking up against one of the craziest rosters in all of Clash Royale League. C McHugh, Baron, Trainer Chris. He just went out of the frying pan.
Wings is there and well. Don't forget, this is
don't forget about Wings.
This is absolutely crazy roster. So let's listen in with these teams. Let's hear what they're discussing. Let's hear what they're saying. Because we've seen Complexity go off, but against the monster, the Titan that is C9, I don't know. Let's hear what they have to say.
All right, guys, King of the Hill. This is the set that nobody wants to play us against, all right? So let's take advantage of this. We're all extremely prepared here. First, we got Colton. Rasler, you're going to go second. Adrian, you're going to close for us, man. All right, let's go do it, fellas.
Let's go. We know no one can touch us in this. This is 1v1. We got this. Doesn't matter if Mikan's here, Lupanji, Surge. Doesn't matter. We got them all. Doesn't matter if it's EU, NA. This is what we practice. We've been doing this for 2 years. We've been winning it for 2 years. So get the 2v2 out of your heads. It's over. That happened. Baron clutched up for us. Now let's clutch up, and we got this.
Summon the Royal Manicurist, because this one's a real nail-biter. Cloud9 and Complexity have planned and plotted. Now they'll go toe-to-toe. Gentlemen, let's decide this with King of the Hill.
The teams have set their lineups, each squad just 3 wins away from sealing this match.
We're starting off with C McHugh going up against Colton W83. Battle of the Titans here in game number 1, sending out 2 of their strongest, actually all 3 of these. You can put anybody first to be one of your strongest members. These are 2 absolutely stacked rosters. Banning Poison is going to be Complexity, and taking out Royal Hogs for C9.
C9 getting rid of Royal Hogs. They did so well with a more classic matchup in that 1v1, looking to replicate. Now that Poison off the board, what could that mean? I
mean, a couple things here. Maybe we could see like Graveyard Freeze coming in, maybe some 3M play potentially here. So we'll see if we're going to see any of that kind of stuff right now. But either way, I like taking things back. Old school, the meta kind of thing. I think this is going to favor C9 a little bit here, but of course Cannon Cart's still on the board.
Colton versus C McHugh.
Colton going up against C McHugh. C9 managing to bring it here to King of the Hill, our final format, the ace match. The winner of this set will take it here. Complexity is going to look to go up 2-0 overall in tournament play, and C9 is looking to secure their first win.
Minor leads from C McHugh. Surprised to see him play first a little bit.
He's normally known for sort of his counterplay. He rarely takes that sort of first offensive push coming out now, but 2 of the strongest cards in the meta being shown right now is Valkyrie going up against the Cannon Cart. Interesting here, we're also seeing, actually like this positioning right now, going to stop that down right before it can even cross the bridge. Inferno Dragon's there right on time.
Minor now showing Valkyrie as well as C McHugh. Not a heavy, aggressive push from Colton yet. Both guys really just taking it easy over it.
I mean, both of these players were at the World Finals last year. These are 2 of the top players on Earth. Neither one has done 1 single point of damage yet.
Lava Hound down now for C McHugh, and a bowler making an appearance for Colton.
So potential some sort of splash yard variation here for Colton right now as the lava's going down. So Lava Hound Miner, nothing too crazy about that now for C McHugh, but not a whole lot of answers in the deck right now for Colton, as he's just sort of giving up on this right now. He's committing to his push, and there's the graveyard as well.
Graveyard down on the left-hand tower. First blood drawn by C McHugh, but now it's Colton making the big damage on the left-hand tower of C McHugh, down under 1,500.
That was a great push there. That graveyard doing a whole lot of work, but the pups are doing work of their own here. And with this additional push coming in, the miner is there as well. The cannon cart, the Valkyrie. This tower for Colton is in deep trouble.
And that is huge. The cannon cart getting all the way across the river, getting that lock, and still alive now.
Wow, this is absolutely massive. C McHugh just decided he wanted to put his pedal to the metal right now, going in and already half-healthing the King Tower here for Colton W83. Actually, just be careful, doesn't continue to go down. And hang on, a couple more shots here. Oh my.
We are just 246 away now, 190 away from the Three Crown. The fireball is in, and that is it. C McHugh putting a stamp on the opening of King of the Hill.
Oh no, that was exactly the push that Colton did not want to have happen. C McHugh is just deciding, all right, it's time to win the game now.
What an unbelievable performance against Colton. Well, I mean, that was amazing. And here we go. We see it. It was that cannon cart that made all the difference. You have to address that card. It hits so hard, so fast, and it did work. It basically took down both the left-hand tower and the King Tower.
But now we see the myth,
oh boy,
the man, the legend, Rasler is coming in. He's on what, like a 7-game win streak at this point?
7 in a row right now. If you didn't know Rasler's name before Clash Royale League, you definitely do now. And here he is in a big spot. Can he build the legend by taking down C McHugh?
Look, if he can take down C McHugh, that's one thing. But if he sweeps again, if he in a row takes down C McHugh, Baron, and Wings, I mean, do you ascend at that point? Like, what even happens?
A sweep is tall order, and it starts right here. He has to look at the man in front of him, one of the best players in the world, C McHugh. This is King of the Hill. Now remember, Complexity still just has 2 players left, Rasler followed by Adrian Piedra. But even if he does get through C McHugh, he has 2 of the best players in the world right after that.
Going here into our second game of King of the Hill. Good luck's being said from both of these players. I love the good manners to start things off. We'll see if C McHugh decides to play the same deck, switch it up here, because this is a big part of the mind game. Are you going to keep doing what you were doing before? Are you going to switch it up? Can you bait them out into something else? We're seeing the same opening here for C McHugh twice in a row.
Yeah, could he be running it back? It worked so well the first time, why not?
Now it sort of puts the onus on Rasler here to answer that. But that's the thing, is he could come out with something that's specifically designed to counter the deck that we just saw, and then C McHugh can play something totally different. So there's a lot of risk in that. You have to have your own win condition in mind when you pick this out. You can't just go out to counter your opponent.
And Mega Minion takes care of Mega Minion. Just going to be 1, maybe 2 swings yet from the Valkyrie on the left-hand tower. C McHugh out to an early lead.
We're seeing the same deck so far coming out from C McHugh. The Lava Hound is there. The Golem now, though, for Rasler playing this out. We'll see if he has more answers for that anti-air, if he can take down that Lava Hound. But really, it was the cannon cart. There it is. Thank you. Right on time, C McHugh. It was the cannon cart that did a lot of work for him in that last game. But the Golem going to be doing a lot better job of tanking up, soaking up that damage.
A little more air support this time for Rasler against C McHugh. We've seen the Baby Dragon, Mega Minion, and of course the Night Witch with those bats.
I like this matchup a little bit more as the Golem does get in here onto the tower, dishing out that damage. The Golem might here as well. That splash damage, it really does start to add up. The Baby Dragon in the back well, every single one of these splashes doing work. Actually, a really great job coming in for that initial push here, playing up that early Golem and making it look really nice.
And I really love that play from Rasler with the Lumberjack on the right-hand side, making C McHugh play the defensive miner and keeping him on his back foot.
That was absolutely huge, really disrupting or helping to disrupt the cycle there of C McHugh. He wants to be laying down that miner as he can to continue that chip damage on the left, but forcing the defensive miner, that's never what you want to do in the situation. But this is a solid push now being mounted for C McHugh. We do get the lock on the tower with the cannon cart.
That cannon cart doing work again, now getting C McHugh back in the game. The right-hand tower and the minions getting it all the way down. Is it going to fall? Yes, it will.
That's all it takes. Strategic, using just as much of only the smallest amount of elixir to get the push done. But speaking of pushes, this is a solid offering now for Rasler. This tower on the left-hand side is going to drop. They are going to trade out here right now, but can he continue this? Can he look for a 3-card of his own?
Very possible. The Lumberjack getting involved heavily, taking that cannon cart down, and will it be close enough to pump up those Golemites? Not quite.
The Golemites are going to get cleaned up now by the King Tower, but a solid push with the Lava Hound also being done there by CMQ. CMQ constantly juggling the balance of offense and defense now, as both of these these tanks passing like ships in the night as they go in, but the Night Witch, the Bastion, do a pretty good job of cleaning this up.
But down to just 1597 is the left-hand tower of Rasler. Definitely in danger, but he does have so much on the board, making its way towards the King Tower.
King Tower now under threat. A second offensive golem being dropped. The Night Witch is still alive, pumping out these bats. Those are going to be huge. Watch how fast the cannon cart drops. And that's going to be a fireball here as well. Look at all the pressure. Rasler is not letting up.
Rasler looking to make it 8 in a row as we are in sudden death overtime.
The Night Witch still pumping out these bats. The right-hand tower is getting very low. The golem is there, and that is going to be it. Rasler taking the game, knocking down CMQ, keeping complexity in this 1-1. The streak lives.
Rasler razzing his opponents. The King Killer making it happen one more time.
Oh, yes. Call this man Jaime Lannister. He is going absolutely off so far. Now 8 in a row with this one. Absolutely monstrous play right now. Never forgetting where his win condition lied, not being afraid to go aggressive, keep up the pressure when it mattered, and I think really addressing the cannon carts, addressing those Lava Hounds a little bit better than in game number 1. I think that matchup favored him a little bit more here.
And that is unbelievable. Rasler taking down CMQ. But now, up next, the German sensation, the 5th place CCGS Spring, 2nd place at the Crown Championship Global Series in fall, and the world finalist, 19-year-old Baron.
Baron is going to look to come in and do exactly what he did in the 1v1, which was play clean, play solid, execute, and not let up the pressure. But Rasler is pretty adept at dealing with this. We've seen Rasler play some crazy split push decks. We know he can respond in the micro game, so I don't think he's going to be too far behind here at all. I think he's going to be going toe-to-toe. I wish this was also a best of 3 because this is going to be a crazy game.
1 life for each, both teams down to just 2 players. Can Rasler keep the streak going, or will Baron derail the train? And we are off. Rasler looking to make it 8 in a row against Baron.
Can he do it? Or will Baron upset, as you said, derail the train, upset the apple cart, tilt some sort of vehicle on its side? We're going to find out. We are actually seeing the opening that we actually saw from Rasler in that last... Is he actually playing the deck that Rasler... He is. He's playing the deck that Rasler swept with. This is... I don't know what... This is some next level BM.
Rasler, if you watch, talked recently online about the importance of playing those zappies in the back and how they create a cascade of counter moves, now using his own strategy against him.
Yeah, of course, the pump, though, is going to be left uncontested throughout all of this, so we'll see from Rasler here. Maybe a 3M coming out from him as well. And we are going to see the Lava Hound coming in. All right, interesting deck right now from Rasler, but I know exactly how Baron's going to look to do this. It's all about the counters, creating pressure on one side, following up. You've got the Bandit, you've got the Ram, those fast-moving assets going to be dealing and delivering damage to the towers of Rasler.
Rasler not too worried about that left-hand tower down at 1724, now doing a Lava Loon on the right-hand side, but we also see the Bandit on the left taking a big hit, followed by, will the Ram get it as well? And that is huge damage. Rasler's left-hand tower in danger of falling, but the right-hand tower of Baron down as well. It's a trade.
Oh my, the trade is real, but still alive. A lot of damage here for Rasler going in right now onto this King Tower. We do finally see the left-hand Princess Tower fall, so committing to the trade right now was Rasler, knowing that he was able to get that down and getting even more damage from turn. We were so focused on that left-hand side, not having an answer to the charge, having so many aerial minions, you don't have something to drop right down in front of that Bandit. You can't distract it, so the tower's going to take that hit, the Ram as well. However, we do see the push continuing for Rasler. The Lava Loon so very real, and having the additional little bit of value in the pump is going to help that out.
Rasler out to a huge lead. That trade worked out. The King Tower down to 18-19 for Baron, and a huge Elixir lead built for Rasler as we enter double Elixir time.
But it's keeping up that pressure in the back. Watch how this Bandit is going to chip away at this Princess Tower. Rasler needs to be careful. He can't play all offense here. Well, maybe he can.
Maybe he
spoke
can.
too soon. As the balloon's going in, the damage of the King Tower, I think that could very well be it. Oh, an aggressive pump as well.
9-0 for Rasler. The King Killer continues the streak.
He can't just play all offense, can he? Yes.
Yes, he can. Wow. If you're watching at home, your mind must be blown right now. Go back and watch his last match. If you want to study, watch every single move that Rasler has made so far in this league. He is playing next level.
Look, I think he heard us and he's like, I'm only in consideration for MVP, guys. Yo. No, I just gotta be that MVP.
Wow, unbelievable. And notice right here, it was the Elixir lead that he built up off that tower trade early on, gave him so much ability to push in and get a 3-crown win against Baron.
Absolutely monstrous, identifying exactly how much damage he was going to take. He opened up his checkbook, he looked at the figures, he did some calculations, and went, nah, I can take this hit because I'm going to be dealing an even bigger one.
No blinking on the big stage for Rasler, but across from him, one of the most dangerous players in the entire country, maybe in the world, Wings, the first place finisher on the ladder with over 900,000 challenge stats won and a 100% win rate when he represents the United States of America.
Absolutely insane play from Wings in the past, but can he duplicate that here on the big stage? Because we're only one win away from Complexity taking it. Can they do it? Or will C9 tie this up?
Cloud9 on their back foot. Rasler looking to do it once again. Can he sweep? Already put down CMQ, already put down Baron. Can he take out Wings?
Going up against Wings, 4th place at the NACCGS Fall. There's a reason this guy's their anchor.
And we got the Mega Minion down from Wings. Across the board, the response, it's Bandit for Rasler.
As we do see the Nightwish come out, as well as the big spooky Royal Ghost coming in here, and actually there, the Zappies in the mid to bait that out here. Looks like we are actually going to be seeing that same deck that Rasler used to sweep all 3 members in his last set.
Rasler very close to another clean sweep. If he wins, that is it. Complexity goes 2-0. Cloud9 needs a win right now to stay alive.
They do indeed. The cannon cart's going to be coming down now, shutting down the Ram. It is not going to connect. That's absolutely huge, but they need to get the kill here on the cannon cart. Shut it down. They do on their side.
Cannon cart pinned back on the side of Wings. Cloud9, 2 minutes left to steal this and send it to the 3rd and final player of Complexity.
Potentially going to be seeing the Nightwish here, maybe seeing the Golem coming out here as well. The Ewiz in the mid once again to deal with this Royal Ghost. I actually love the Royal Ghost play coming out so far from Wings because it is forcing so many responses from Rasler. Just having the ability, just like, you need to use a unit to draw this out because you do not want to take those hits on your tower.
And now we have the Flying Machine meeting against the Cannon Cart and Mega Minion at the bridge. Great zappy play, stopping the Cannon Cart at the bridge. Will it be able to get a target? I don't quite think so.
It might get 1 or 2. No, it's not. Just out of range. Perfect play there from Rasler. Very little chip being done from both sides right now. And I love this defensive play. They're not overcommitting here. I like this from Rasler. He can play this deck super aggressive, but he's waiting until he gets to the DE, and then things are going to start to come online.
We are in that final minute. The Elixir is flowing fast, and so far, both players pretty much untouched on their towers.
I also love, watch this Flying Machine positioning here. This is actually huge. Always putting it in the center here to get value in both lanes, utilizing and capitalizing on that massive range. Here comes the Giant now being pushed in by the Nightwish. The Pekka to deal with this here. Pekka being used defensively, now building a push behind it will be Rasler. Having this defensive Pekka in your back pocket also creates so many opportunities for a split push.
And there we go, the Bandit backing up the Ram, taking care of that Royal Ghost, and now a charge on the right tower, forcing the Fireball out, but down under 800 is the right tower of Wings.
This is just comfort from Rasler right now. He is feeling good, having that Pekka in the back pocket to defend when he needed, dropping those zappies, creating the split pressure. Once again, we're going to see this coming out, and I love this. All the shutdown that he has with the ability to stun and shut down these units, the zappies, the E-Wiz, he's taking advantage of it every single time. However, you got to respect the cannon cart.
That cannon cart on the right-hand side, he has to take care of it. There's a lot of stuff in his pocket, and there we go. Will it stop? No, the cannon cart does get a lock. Will get this thing a little more even here in sudden death overtime.
Flying machine going to be used now to clean up the giant instead. Dealing with the cannon cart is going to be the Princess Tower here, but still a really nice push. There's the fireball, beautiful positioning on that, and this flying machine is doing work, but the Royal Ghost is coming through. Nice defense there once again from Rasler. He is holding strong, keeping his lead right now as we're getting deeper into overtime.
Wings doing a good job keeping the pressure up in the left-hand lane and off his right-hand tower, but a charge on the left tower now. Rasler getting that down to 16-24.
Complexity, if they take this, if Rasler keeps the streak alive, they will take down Cloud9. They will continue. They will be 2-0 so far in the CRL. The defense right now from Rasler is here. The giant is going to fall. The Pekka doing its job. The E-Wiz, the bandit in the back. The push being built behind this is huge. The bandit is there as well. So much pressure from Rasler.
The bandit does not get all the way through the cannon cart, but now we see again split lane push. It's on the right-hand side. Does not get the charge, but still forcing the elixir to be spent on the left from Wings.
Good solid hold so far from both of these players. The Royal Ghost is actually going to get through right now, but good redirect there with the E-Wiz. This is exactly what he wants to be doing, keeping this right now, and watch for the next ram to come out. The pressure we built, getting the split pusher once again with that bandit that's connecting every single time.
Next level, top tier bandit play from Rasler, but don't count out Wings. He is playing so well right now, fighting his way back for his life in this possibly final game.
Fireball using there to take down the flying machine. I like that. The cannon cart is going to be shut down though on the left-hand side. Getting that E-Wiz, keeping it out of range. Really solid trades right now with the Ghost. He needs to defend this in some way. There's the bandit there once again. Taking that down. All right.
Keep in mind, folks, there are no draws in King of the Hill.
If neither one of these players takes a tower, whoever has the single lowest health tower will lose the game.
The giant soaking up damage, keeping that bandit from hitting the tower once more. Wings making great mid-game adjustments and very possibly fighting his way back into this game.
Yeah, he was behind earlier, but he's found some answers for Rasler right now, able to get chip of his own in. He's actually been trading overall better throughout the course of the later stages of this game. The cannon cart, once again, if it can get that crucial lock, we saw what happened with CMQ earlier. If you can get just one cannon cart on the tower, it can be GG.
Flying machine now taking care of the Mega Minion, and that Royal Ghost really creating a lot of problems so far for Rasler. Great play from Wings with that card.
We're almost done here. We're almost at the draw right now. Can Wings make this final push? The Pekka is there to clean up the giant. Only a few more swings here. 5 seconds remaining with the fireball. Can they make it happen? No, I don't think it's going to be enough.
And that is Rasler with his second sweep. Wow, the MVP of CRL Week 1 goes undefeated. That's 10 wins in a row, unprecedented. If you didn't know his name before, you know his name now. That's Rasler.
Rasler going off here so far. What stellar play from him. GG's being had by all.
Shock and awe, the only way to describe the play of Rasler. Now 10-0 in Clash Royale League.
Absolutely phenomenal play from him. The King Killer going through what might possibly be the most like in 1, a 2, and a 3, taking down CMQ, Baron, and Wings back-to-back. That might be one of the most impressive sweeps in Clash Royale history, period, ever, period. Absolutely monstrous play from him. You can see it here. His defense was just so clutch, getting down that tower exactly to where it needed to be so he could close out the match for Complexity. Adrian Page is only looking sad because he hasn't actually gotten to play yet in King of the Hill.
The bandit play next level from right now the #1 player to watch in Clash Royale League. Standing by with the King Killer is Christy St. John.
Thanks, guys. Rasler, how does it feel to be the hashtag King Killer?
It feels amazing. It's hard to describe how I feel right now. It's just amazing to go 10-0 in the first 2 days of CRL League. I'm just so happy.
Right? How do you do that? How do you go into each match? I mean, what's your battle ritual?
I mean, a lot of times, like before a match, I like close my eyes, take a deep breath, and then just focus up, and then I just go in for it and don't think about anything else, just Clash Royale.
Focused. I like it. And now I have to ask you, in that King of the Hill match with C. McHugh, you totally psyched me out. I thought you were going for the 3 crown, and then you put that golem in the pocket. Tell me that mind game, that strategy.
Well, the thing I wanted to avoid because I knew he had to like fireball. So I wanted to split up my pressure. So going for the king and going for the second tower at the same time because I had so much elixir and I just felt confident and I went for it.
Genius. It's exactly what a king killer would do. Back to you guys.
The 18-year-old from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, making his stamp on the Clash Royale world. Where were you when Rasler became famous?
Well, I was right here watching it all, watching Complexity go up 2-0 and Immortals falling here in what was definitely an epic, close, amazing set. Complexity showing that they are, right now, the top team in North America.
Out to an early lead is Complexity. They are just a few weeks away from earning a spot in the playoffs, and from there, potentially, a spot to represent North America in the World Finals.
I feel like if you haven't hit subscribe, like that was the point where like I'm gonna hit subscribe on the YouTube channel right now. Like watching Rasler do that, I feel like that's the point where you're like, I hit subscribe. Check out esports.clashroyale.com as well. Find all the action there, and of course the new Esports tab in the app where you can keep up to date with all the action, scheduling, matchups, all that great stuff. Check it all out because these games have been amazing. And oh, we're not done yet.
We have more Clash Royale action on its way. NRG riding high, coming in against Counter Logic Gaming.
Our second match today is ready to begin, and this one will be absolutely lit. Did I say that right? 2 teams at the top of the standings will battle to remain unbeaten. Skills and Backstab X lead Counter Logic Gaming against Hazard and the NRG Elite. Let's get it on!
Our second match today, a battle of just 6 letters. CLG versus NRG.
6 letters, but they show 2 incredibly strong rosters here. Backstab X, Skills, Geo, these guys have been playing. Backstab X winning tournaments back in 2016, now to go up against the young guns over on NRG. Carter and Hazard, these 2 guys have been seriously impressing me.
And don't forget about Guanic, who showed off in his 1v1 matchup in the very last game. Now, standing by with Skills is Christy St. John.
Hey, what's up? Thanks, guys. So, Skills, you are coming off of a win against 100 Thieves. What have you done between then and now? Celebrate?
Well, we went back to the facility and we played some ping pong and had some fun. But right after that, we were back to, studying and working hard and practicing because we knew we had a game coming up next against a really tough opponent in NRG.
Absolutely, and it's a little bit different this time because you already saw Guanic play 1v1 against Royal. How do you watch that game? How do you study your opponent?
Well, the main thing we do is look at his decks to see what kind of trends he uses, beatdown, that kind of stuff. We also looked at his bans to see what he doesn't like to play against, what he does like, and just what we were, sorry, just see what we were gonna expect for this game.
Absolutely. Do you have any predictions for us on what he's gonna play?
We'll save that for later.
Think he's gonna play a losing deck?
Definitely.
You heard it from him. All right, back to you guys.
Thanks, Christy. Before we head to the war rooms and see what these teams are planning, let's review the match format.
Of course, each one of these sets has a specific banned card as we start off in 2v2. We then go into 1v1, and if we need to, our King of the Hill format, which we just witnessed in all its majesty and glory.
How will this match follow the first one today? You know what? With these great teams, I bet it can. To find out how it's going to play, let's go inside the war rooms.
So we decided to ban Golem because, it's been being used a lot.
Yeah, it's been used in like every match.
With a tornado ban from them, we're probably going to be seeing some lava loon from them.
Yeah,
we will.
Most likely.
Yeah.
And the best part is that we prepared for the same bans last night.
Yeah. We're
That's
2
the
steps
best.
ahead, baby.
2 steps ahead of the game.
2,000 IQ.
2000 IQ. Let's win it.
Let's go, baby.
All right, boys. The bans are Golem and NATO for the 2v2, 1v1. It's Bulk and Poison skills, okay? Let's bring it on. Let's have fun.
All right.
On
CLG
3.
on 3. 1, 2, 3. CLG!
Counter Logic and NRG have done all they can to prepare in their war rooms. Now, it's the time to armor up and take aim at one another. 2v2 combatants, walk stylishly, please, down the tunnel into the arena.
2v2 about to get underway. An interesting note, both teams opting for the same lineups from their first match.
I mean, it makes sense. We saw CLG melt the pure frost of 100 Thieves, and we also saw NRG take down Immortals in what was an amazing set. So I think it's for good reason, not making any changes. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
The young guys, Carter and Hazard, taking on RF and Crap and helping seal the deal against Immortals. Here looking for their second victory to keep them on top of the ladder board.
And we look now at the banned cards. Tornado, pretty standard here for CLG, but we're also seeing Golem being taken up for NRG. What could that mean for us?
Well, one thing we've seen with Golem a lot in 2v2 is it working with a graveyard freeze deck, so we might be going against that because it has been a big part of these sets so far.
We've also been seeing a lot of Giant Skeleton play, and even some Royal Giant making an appearance here. Card I'm a fan of because you don't have to get it all the way down to the tower like you do the Golem. He can sit back, put a wall in front of him, build that wall, and he'll just rain shells over top.
Set number 1 on its way in this 2v2. Will it be NRG who goes 2-0, or will CLG start off this season with a perfect record?
Well, we're about to find out, Rich, as we get into game number 1 of our first set here. NRG going up against CLG. This is going to be fun to say all match long.
NRG at the top of your screen, CLG at the bottom with Backstab X and Geo.
Seeing the Dark Prince coming out. We'll see if we have that card pushing forward any strong frontliners later on in the game here. Doing the Poison coming in. Poison always so strong in 2v2. And once again, that Giant Skeleton making an appearance.
A common ban card, the Poison. It's here in this match. The Giant Skeleton getting more use in 2v2 than it has seen in years in Clash Royale.
Oh, beautiful hold, though, keeping that bomb just out of range of the tower. That is a massive nuke if it can connect with that tower. Beautiful placement of those guards.
The guards living up to their name as a miner now sent by CLG deep into the territory of NRG.
And once again, we are seeing that Royal Giant coming out. So fairly standard here from what we are seeing developing in the 2v2 meta. We weren't sure how long we were going to take to sort of see some trends emerge, but already in week number 1, teams are figuring out what works.
It's a little harder to tell with 16 cards on both sides, but these decks almost looking like 16 card mirrors of each other.
Pretty insane. You see the Tesla being dropped here once more. That is going to be distracting that crucial Royal Giant there. The bomb is going to drop on both sides, cleaning this up. And I think it's really interesting to see how we see those cards like the E-Wiz coming out, stopping and holding in position key cards like that Giant Skeleton, keeping those bombs out of range of the towers.
Inferno Dragon keeping the Royal Giant of CLG from crossing into enemy territory, combined with the excellent Tombstone play. Both teams resetting right now. So far, only a slight lead for CLG.
Slight lead right now for CLG. Beautiful fireball to minimize the impact of that miner, and an aggressive Royal Giant coming down. This is huge. Are they going to get a structure down in time? Not so. A few shots are going to come across with the miner in the back. Great offense from NRG.
So far, the miner was the difference for CLG's Backstab X and Geo, and looks like Carter and Hazard taking a page from their book, and now in the left-hand tower down to 1360.
I mean, it's working here for both squads as we see that Giant Skeleton moseying on in towards the center here, trying to get that in range of the tower. The Lumberjack in the back is shredding through this, though, so they're going to keep it in position. Nice hold there from NRG, and look at the chip damage going through. But overall, oh, actually, I might be speaking too soon here.
You want to do anything you can to keep that Skeleton's giant bomb from doing its damage. NRG holding on now at the counter push behind the Royal Giant, and a great distraction with the Tesla.
I love how many troops we're seeing being played here. So much elixir on the board, but really it's been the battle of the miners. Both of these squads putting up these huge, massive frontline pushes, but really the damage has been coming through from those key miners in the back.
We are entering sudden death overtime. The left-hand tower of CLG down to almost 1,000. About 500 pit points ahead is Hazard and Carter.
I actually love utilizing this Tombstone here because not only is it going to cause a distraction potential for that Royal Giant, but it's also keeping targets to keep that Giant Skeleton swinging. If it's constantly forced to stop and attack these little units on the way, it's not going to make it to the tower. That's a crucial part of this defense. This, I have to say, this Inferno Dragon has been doing work all game long. I'll push long, specifically here.
The Tombstone kept it in check for a while, but now the miner getting through, and it's CLG's Backstab X and Geo taking the lead and putting that tower under significant threat.
Under significant threat, indeed. This is going to be the Dark Prince pushing in. They know this is going to be it. That's all she wrote. GG CLG taking game number 1.
Geo and Backstab X remain undefeated in 2v2.
It was a war of attrition there, really just keeping the pressure up on that left-hand side. We saw it here, a great fireball coming out, but it just wasn't enough. Able to just force those troops through, and slowly but surely, the chip damage executed through the course of that game gave CLG the win.
The slight elixir lead for CLG paying off in that moment. NRG having no response available. Pretty even on the stats here so far, although with the buildings played, NRG a little more defensive, showing that they were on their back foot for a lot of that match, or a lot of that game.
And really, I think it's going to come down to just not getting tilted. If you are these young players, you're up here on stage, they just need to keep calm and composed. Carter, Hazard, they have so much potential for these two, but going into what is functionally or very similarly a mirror matchup and losing, that could be damaging on your confidence.
Well, Hazard has his experience. Carter, one of the newer guys from the Combine, but I think after his last match, he's really gotten more comfortable here. I don't expect to see either of these guys crumble under the pressure, and this should be a great second game in this first set.
Well, we'll see if NRG can rally here or if CLG will continue with their streak and take this 2-0. So far, we're seeing a slight adjustment here coming in from CLG. The Lava Hound being dropped. Double Lava Hound!
Okay, so some of you who've been playing 2v2s a lot may have seen the double Lava Hound, double mirror deck that spawns about 5 billion pups at the end.
I think it's exactly 5 billion.
Exactly, yeah, you know what, you're right, exactly 5 billion. Is it possible we'll see that here? That would be shocking at Clash Royale League.
You know what else is shocking? That Tesla Tower doing a great job of distracting not only the pups but the hounds as well here. And a nice hold coming in so far from NRG. They clean that up fairly well right now, but we are going to see some initial contact onto that tower. The pups just been a little bit of initial shit.
NRG not worrying about that Inferno Dragon on the right-hand side, knowing there's no way it would get past phase number 1.
Phase number 1. What a statement piece to start this off. Hello, double Lava Hound. Let's bring this to the table. I think this is exactly the kind of opening that CLG wants to make, and also fairly standard. We have the Valve, we have the Balloon right here. Something we often see in 1v1 now being used here.
I really like that play on the Fireball, taking care of the defense right in front of the tower. It was a good move to try to get the Balloon all the way there for a hit. We will get bomb damage down to 1654.
Having the Valkyrie tank there for that Balloon, always crucial. Following it up, keeping that Balloon in the air, so very close to have that initial connection. But again, as you say, we do have the bomb there, so it is going to be wearing down here as we near double elixir time.
Now, interesting note, there are 2 Lava Hounds for CLG. Might they give even more protection for one of these pushes for a Balloon, or will they keep splitting that up as the game goes on?
That's a big commitment in terms of elixir. I feel like if they commit so much onto that push, maybe they leave themselves exposed on the opposite lane, something NRG is bound to take advantage of. We may see it here, but boy, that is a whole lot spent. You see the lightning falling as well.
We are in double elixir time as CLG continues to grow their lead, but NRG making a great push on the right-hand tower, taking it down to now under 1,200 passively, all the way down to 1026.
Spells are flying left and right, keeping that miner here, but look at the push. There's the Balloon as well. So much air coming in right now for CLG. This is going to be very difficult to deal with for NRG right now. The Balloon's getting so close. The E-Wiz doing a great job of trying to slow that down, but the rage to follow up as they are pushing in now. They got the lock on the tower. Already GG being called. What an indomitable push from CLG.
The big difference maker there was the guards getting onto that E-Wiz, not letting it slow down that push, and that was it. This is going to be the first set in the book. CLG's Backstab X and Geo remaining undefeated in 2v2.
Taking it in convincing fashion in 2 games. The energy is high. Just a little bit better synergy there, able to execute on those pushes, and just not quite having enough response. That is so much HP in the air. You've got Lava Hounds, you've got Balloons, you've got Dragons, you've got the Rage to boot. How do you deal with that?
I mean, in this case, there was no dealing with that. There were so many things that they had to try to force themselves to, but there it was. You saw the tower go down, taking care of that E-Wiz, so critical, letting that whole push fly through.
And when you just have so much air support, it really doesn't become about the Balloon. It's a juggling act. It's multiple threats. Not only do you have the Balloon, not only do you have the Lava Hounds, but it was the Inferno Dragon just nestled in right there in the back, being like, I'm actually going to be the one to shred down this tower, taking it down in an instant. when you have to deal with so many threats at once, it makes it very difficult to come out on top because there's so many things you have to deal with.
Set number 1 going to Counter Logic Gaming. If they can win in the 1v1, they will close this thing out. But don't be too hasty, because for NRG is the nasty one, Guanic.
The anticipation is growing as this 1v1 battle draws near. Seriously, a lot of people are really looking forward to this one. Skills versus Guanic under the lights. Let's go!
Skills getting to the podium for Counter Logic Gaming across from the undefeated Guanic.
Skills doing a lot of work for his team, sweeping on day 1 in King of the Hill, but he actually fell to Eddie there, but he had redemption for his squad. Guanic, of course, taking down Royal in what were some, frankly, very strong games from him. Royal looked a little bit outclassed there, but Guanic, he's going to look to bring that same attitude here to CLG.
Well, as the 3-time top of the world ladder player, Guanic is super dangerous, but we saw what Skills can do under pressure in that King of the Hill. Now remember, we have a new set of ban cards for 1v1 that will be active for all potentially 3 games.
We do have those bans, Poison and Valkyrie, coming out. Poison, a card we've seen get quite a bit of usage here. It's got great defense, it's got great offense, very versatile. And another versatile card, that Valkyrie.
That Valkyrie being gone, could we see Royal Hogs, which we saw eliminated from contention all through our first match today? Will they make an appearance here now?
We're about to find out. Royal Hogs, of course, so strong in the meta right now, and the way the pros have been playing it here in CRL, really shifting up what we thought about that card, giving so many additional possibilities, the ability to split push here. I feel some of the high-level games that we've seen so far, that's really been the deciding factor.
Skills cycling in the back, now dropping the zappies, and we see the Lava Hound for Guanic in the left lane.
Starting out strong with this Lava Hound. That will have to be addressed, but the Mega Knight is coming in. Mega Knight, a lot of a new card, well, not a new card, I should say, but a card we've been seeing a lot more higher up on the ladder right now, going all the way through onto that tower, shredding it right now. We can already see a tower trade.
Yeah, with those zappies behind, so much damage. The right-hand tower of Guanic going to fall, but it looks like he will do the same to Skills on the left-hand side. Will he? No. It looks like we're going to stop it just shy of going down.
Uh-oh, the last pup getting it down.
Oh, it does get it!
Oh, so close. Calculated to the second to last pup. Guanic is there. And this is not normally how we start our 1v1 games.
Fast and loose with both players so far. It's exciting from step number 1.
Fast and furious right here as both these towers just falling by the wayside, which means now we're going to see how these teams adapt going into double elixir time. As we already see a very similar push being mounted right now. If we see this all over again, this would just be bonkers.
I thought maybe Skills might slow things down a bit and try to play defense and counter against that Lava Loon push, but no, he is swinging hard for the fences, and that left-hand tower now down almost under 1,500, yes, down to potentially 1,357.
Zappies from Skills doing so much for him so far in this matchup, not only stymieing the Inferno Dragon, allowing the Mega Knight to get so much more value, but chunking down the tower. Guanic realizing he cannot trade again, he needs to play defense, but now that we are in double elixir time, potentially the Lava Loon might find itself in a slight advantage.
Skills getting those zappies down over and over again. May have been watching our clear MVP Rasler, who's been playing those cards to perfection.
Playing them to perfection, the Zap coming in, resetting that Inferno Dragon, allowing those Goblins to get additional hits there onto the tower. Really nice play coming in right now from Skills, keeping up the pressure, not allowing Guanic to feel comfortable on cycle, not allowing him to get that big Lava Loon push out.
30 seconds remain in regulation time as another push sets up for Skills on the left-hand side. Can he get that tower down? And will he close this first game down?
That lone Zappy on the right, MVP of this match. The Lava Hound's just trying to get there, but going to be shredded down by that Inferno Dragon. Splitting those Zappies in the back, setting up so many key pushes with that has been critical to the play of Skills right now, knowing exactly how many resources he needs to commit to each lane.
One Zappy on that side, backed up by the Inferno. Oh, and here we see the Royal Hogs!
The Royal Hogs coming in just when he thought there wasn't enough aggression in the deck from Skills. The Royal Hogs are there. The snouts connecting with the tower. The defense just not quite there enough. as we do see the guards going to be cleaning that up, but so low this tower is getting.
You know, I gotta think Guanek was expecting that because he hadn't played that fireball yet, and he was waiting for those Royal Hogs to come down, and he timed that perfectly, keeping his tower alive just a little bit longer.
You know what else got kept alive? 2 Inferno Dragons now pushing in as well. The Zappy's going to clean up by the fireball, but a great response now from Skills as well to be cleaning those up. We saw the power of the Inferno Dragon earlier on. If it gets locked in the tower, that's GG.
581 is all that's separating Guanek from losing that perfect 1v1 record so far here in Clash Royale League.
I love the tombstone placement right now, though, from Guanek. We are actually seeing the jump getting through, though. Oh, no. I was going to compliment Guanek there, but the Mega Knight just took the words right out from under me, getting in onto that tower, finding the lead. Beautiful play.
That's got to feel good for Skills, who, like you said, lost to Eddie in the 1v1s against 100 Thieves, but then came back in King of the Hill. Look at this play. Just perfect use of the Mega Knight over and over again, and there was simply no response Guanek had to the pace that Skills put on him.
That was really all about the pace here, and of course, CLG as a whole is putting up a crazy pace right now. They are only 1 game away from sweeping NRG. It's all on Guanek right now. He needs to rally for his team. He needs to shut down Skills.
If there's someone you want in that position, though, it is the Hog Freeze God Guanek, who of course has been top of the ladder 3 times and one of the best players in the world.
Oh yeah, you don't get to the top of the ladder 3 times and not be one of the undisputed greats of Clash Royale. It's now up to Guanek here. He needs to rally for energy. He needs to channel that energy.
Royal Ghost in the back for Skills. Same lane play, the Giant for Guanek.
Giants coming out now from both sides. Interesting reads, totally switching up their decks right now. And there's the Witch to follow up. Giant Witch, a combo that, of course, we've been seeing a lot of in ladder play. And we do see the cannon card coming in to clean this up. Everything about this is oh so meta.
That cannon card, again, we've seen how powerful it can be. And a miner used to counter the cannon card. We are not quite going to get the Giant to the tower, but there the Lumberjack doing work on his side, clearing the path potentially for this Witch to do some real damage.
With the Rage being dropped now, the Skeletons, actually getting cleaned up. Nice hold. The Mega Minion there doing work for Skills as he's actually going to be in a pretty good position on this push, but great positioning on that E-Wiz to shut that down.
The E-Wiz getting in the way of that Royal Ghost. And notice that the Witch is actually a great way to counter the Royal Ghost, those little skeletons, forcing him to go out of Ghost mode and to become corporeal and be hit by the tower or anything else on the board.
Yeah, the Witch is going to be, I think, a key card here for Guanek moving forward. Not only for that, but just supporting the Giant here in this push. We are going to have the cannon card there riddling him with those shells. But that, I have to say, nice damage being done. But, of course, Skills, he's giving up something because he's creating a push on the other side.
Yeah, letting that left-hand tower get down now all the way to potentially 1174, but he has a big push on the right-hand side, now doing some serious work. The Giant does go down, but does get him back in the game.
The Miner is coming in defensively now. Again, not ideally how you want to be using that card. Both sides using variations here with this Giant, supporting it in different ways. It's great to see how players put their own spin on these decks, put their personality into it here, identifying the winning conditions, but I love this. The Witch is getting value, pumping out those skeletons, forcing and keeping that Mega Minion back.
And a Giant push, a split, interesting, Giant behind the King Tower for Skills, but right at the river for Guanek, trying to get aggressive, take advantage of a moment.
Taking advantage of the pace right now is Guanek, pushing farther forward here. The Fireball is coming out, the punches are coming through, the Giant is doing work. I think that's gonna be it, one more, no!
But within Fireball range, as we reach the final 30 seconds of this game, Guanek has Skills up against the ropes. Will Skills have the chance to get back in contention? The cannon cart gets a lock.
Oh no, the cannon cart's going in there. This could be a huge upset right now. They aren't going to be able to take this. The Fireball is going to cycle, so we are going to see a towers coming out now. We actually use the Miner for that instead, but the cannon cart is coming in here onto the King Tower as well. The Giant, the follow-up push from Skills is oh so real, and now he's continuing on this. He's looking for the 3 crown.
Can Skills get the sweep? Some redemption after his first time in 1v1. He is doing so much damage. The Giant getting 2 hits on that King Tower.
The Witch not going and not supporting this defense right now, watching off across the other way, and we are still seeing the pressure coming in right now. The zap is there, and that is going to be the hold for now. Guanek by the skin of his teeth. I may have spoken to the cannon card instead, the Lumberjack to defend that.
Skills again, letting some damage come in. That 497 hit point precarious position for Quantic's King Tower. He's looking to finish the thing right now.
A few more spell cycles now from Skills is going to be all she wrote. The Fireball is coming in. There's the log as well.
Gosh.
And all it's going to take is one more hit. That's it.
That Fireball pushing the E-Wiz away from the Giant. Throw in the log, throw in the punch. That is it. Skills takes the sweep.
Skills and CLG take the sweep. That is going to be all she wrote. NRG going down in 2 quick sets here in the CRL North America.
CLG on 3, right? 1, 2, 3, CLG!
And let's take a look at the replay. And that was all she wrote. Look at that Fireball getting the E-Wiz just far enough and down enough so the log could take it out. And that is it. 1 hit point remaining. Not enough. The zap is there.
Having that 3 spell cycle, able to just push that through. Once you get to that certain critical threshold, you know it's in the bag. It's just how you play it out. Make sure you don't lose something on the other end. Skills played that to perfection.
And that is back-to-back standout performances for the 18-year-old Skills from the United States of America.
Spending a little bit more elixir despite having the longer rotation. He just played that matchup beautifully. Guanek, despite having a few key responses, just wasn't quite able to execute. And with that, Skills looking so strong here for CLG, taking his team to a clean sweep victory. That's exactly what they want to do in match number 2.
And Christy St. John is standing by with today's hero. Let's go hear from Skills.
Thanks, guys. Skills. Oh my gosh, 2 matches in a row. You are shaping up to maybe be the MVP here. How does it feel?
It feels great because I wasn't always the highest rated player, and it feels good to really be able to prove yourself. So I'm really happy about that.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask, in both of those matches, you obviously had towers down. How does it feel to take that damage? How do you deal with that pressure in such a high-stakes situation?
Well, I just zone into the game and just kind of forget about everything happening around me and just focus on the game.
Absolutely. And the one play that I have to ask you about, those Royal Hogs in the first game, I did not know you had them. They were a complete surprise. Tell me about the strategy behind that.
Well, they didn't make that much sense to play earlier in the game because I could just abuse Mega Knight because he had very little ground troops, but eventually I just let me just throw him down, hope I can get some chip damage because it was really close to taking the tower.
Well, you predicted he was going to play a losing deck, and he absolutely did. Congrats, man. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Christy. Skills doing it once again for Counter Logic Gaming, giving them their 2nd win in Clash Royale League. Let's take a look at the standings.
We can see now that CLG and Complexity both 2-0. You know, NRG only 1-1. They've still got some room here. It's still early days, but of course, wanting to be in that top 4, it's oh so important.
And you can follow all the action hitting that subscribe button here for Clash Royale Esports. You can also go to the website. You can also go to the tab inside Clash Royale on your phone while you're playing.
Oh yeah, you go to unlock a chest, you're like, oh look, esports. Always more amazing esports action here 6 days a week.
6 days a week. Tomorrow we are back with the European region, and tune in again on Monday to give you more North American action.
That's going to be it for us here for North American Clash Royale. I'm Inverum, that's Rich Slayton. We'll see you next time.
When the history books are written, they will speak of today's action with wonder and awe. Never before have we seen such bravery and strength. Never before have we witnessed such quick wit and strategy. My bet, we will see even more impressive play next time. Always next time. Please, please, please subscribe to the Clash Royale Esports channel and watch every troop spawn and every tower fall on the road to the CRL World Finals. This is the Clash Royale League. Oh, and remember, if you feed your cat Inferno Dragon food, you're going to need a cast iron cat box.